Leaders were about to meet the enemy to discuss the terms of the continuing peace.
This is an important step in securing the victory that our forces have achieved.
Although no one here trusts Saddam Hussein, there is still official confidence that the Iraqis will agree to meet all the Allied conditions. America's top priority is the return of prisoners of war.
I really believe we will get satisfaction on that, and they know that they must comply, and I believe they will comply. And put it this way, they better comply.
As for Saddam Hussein himself, the Americans say they don't know where he is, and Bush maintains there's no American intention to hunt him down or even try to force him from power. But Washington still wants him out.
I've always said that it would be that the Iraqi people should put him aside, and that would facilitate the resolution of all these problems that exist, and certainly would facilitate the acceptance of Iraq back into the family of peace-loving nations.
A French newspaper says the Iraqi leader is prepared to give up power if he's not held accountable for war crimes. The report says he's now seeking asylum in Algeria. The Algerians deny the claim, but even if it is true, George Bush said today there could be no deals done. And there was another pledge from Bush when asked if the US would help repair the damage done to Iraq by the Allied bombing.
Iraq has a big reconstruction job to do, but I'll be honest with you, at this point I don't want to see one single dime of the United States taxpayers' money go into the reconstruction of Iraq.
The exception, he said, might be for food and medicine for humanitarian reasons. In a speech earlier, Bush had offered Americans this view of the war effort.
And by God, we've kicked Vietnam syndrome once and for all. Thank you.
George Bush is now headed for a weekend of relaxation at Camp David, with the knowledge that he's riding the crest of a presidential popularity wave not seen in America since World War II. Opinion polls put that support as high as 91%, almost double what it was before the Gulf crisis.
Allied helicopter gunships wheeled over this graveyard, a hillside where the Iraqis' belief in their military might had finally perished. It truly was the killing field of Kuwait. As we neared the frontier, the desert was ablaze. Like rumbling thunder, we heard and then saw millions of pounds worth of oil going up in flames. At least 50 wellheads were burning. Saddam's revenge upon Kuwait before his army's hasty exit.
Soldiers recorded here by a resistance video. It's evidence of the arson and looting by Iraq's army before they fled the city.
These are scenes reminiscent of Beirut. Kuwait City may be liberated, but law and order does not prevail, and the streets still echo to the sound of gunfire. The Americans are known to be getting rapidly fed up with it. For now, it may be celebration, but it makes an ominous and a sinister picture. And without a government, without a police force, the Kuwaitis themselves cannot take control. The sound of gunfire that you can hear in the background is the result of the thousands of weapons that have been left behind by the Iraqis and which have been picked up by individual Kuwaitis who are firing them off in celebration. One man actually killed his wife last night because he didn't know how to operate the gun properly. This is just some of the arms and ammunition that the Iraqis left behind them in their panic to get out. Much more is still on the streets, and a lot of it is in civilian hands. These are Kuwaiti resistance fighters. Some are former policemen, others are not. The Kuwaiti government in exile says they're well disciplined. In the absence of the government, not even the Kuwaiti army will attempt to impose the decree of martial law signed by the emir in Saudi Arabia last week. Clearly, the help of the huge force of Americans and other coalition armies could be enlisted, but that would be a desperate step and an admission that Kuwait is unable to handle not only its external security, but also its internal policing as well.